Hey guys, it's Prince. So, I just finished a private meeting with a top executive at Dialpad, and then I saw this interesting dashboard that they've got basically showcasing their product. Here today with me, I've got somebody with Dialpad who's going to show you just kind of a mini demo of what's going on.
Hey everybody, my name's Adam Hyde. I'm a channel sales engineer here at Dialpad. I'm really excited to show you just a couple of really cool things and innovative things that Dialpad is currently doing with our platform that we're showcasing here at Channel Partners 2022 in Las Vegas. Why don't you come over here? What I want to start with is a quick demonstration of our live contact center display. Right, what this is showing us here within this particular queue is that we have about 10 current calls in flight right now. Now, as we all know, Dialpad is an AI company. We're leveraging automatic speech recognition, natural language processing, machine learning, big data analytics. These are some big words, but at their core, what we're doing is we're taking the audio from each conversation, we're converting that into text, and text is data. It's how are we using that data to empower the user within each and every interaction, and then empower that business to make more meaningful and insightful decisions. So from this screen, we can see a couple of things are happening. First of all, I have roughly 10 calls in flight between my agent, their customer, and right in the middle here, we have a sentiment indication column. This is letting the agent and or the supervisor know how that call is going. Is it in a neutral status? Or more importantly, is it in a positive or negative status? If it's positive, great, kudos. If it's negative, that might be a call we might want to jump into and take a more proactive approach towards affecting the outcome. Following over here to the far right, what I actually want to show you is when that call is in a negative status, or maybe even neutral, and I need to take that manual intervention measure, I can click on the option to view the call. So this is an hour and 33-minute call in flight. By clicking on the view call option on the far right, I can immediately jump into a view that shows me the words and phrases of that conversation, even though I'm not on the call itself. So now your supervisors, your managers can listen in to the conversations without actually being on the call, because as we know, agents hate when their managers and supervisors are watching over their shoulder. So now as a manager or a supervisor, I can follow along with the conversation. I can reach out to that agent, give them tips or tricks or recommendations on what ultimately might impact them or empower them to deliver a better customer experience, ultimately get them from that negative status, hopefully back to a positive or neutral. But you know what else is pretty cool? I talked about the concept of creating data within each and every interaction. One really common struggle for contact center supervisors and managers is understanding how effective and how good their teams are at delivering a quality customer experience. We measure that with something called CSAT, Customer Satisfaction Scores. And in today's world, most contact center teams have to ask their customers for that feedback. They say, hey, can you please fill out this short survey? Press 1 and hang out at the end of the call and we'll ask you a few questions. How often does that happen? How often do you press 1? How often do you fill out that survey?
Me, never.
It's very infrequent. So how good is that CSAT feedback? How good are those surveys? Is it really even worth doing? Because in reality, the scores are pretty skewed. They're pretty skewed towards the negative because most people who fill out those surveys are unhappy, right? So what we're doing is we're taking this AI that's transcribing the conversation to now predict a CSAT score without requiring that customer feedback. So without asking the customer, how was your experience, I as an organization already know. And I know not just on 1 or 2 or 5 interactions, but I know on 100% of the interactions. And now because I have that data, now I can make a lot more meaningful coaching and management decisions. Now I know what to target. Now I know what to focus on. And now I know how to measure that 1 week or 1 month later after I've instituted those changes. So on the screen that we see right in front of us right here this is AI CSAT in action. So we're looking at a particular contact center queue, and this trend line shows our CSAT scores over time. It also shows us how many individual interactions make up the data from each column. So on April 3rd, for example, there's 28 interactions. On April 4th, there was 190. And what we're also able to do, if the customer wants, is send out SMS surveys as a way to complement or augment the AI CSAT surveys, or scores, excuse me. So now I can take an actual customer feedback form combined with the AI generated CSAT to make it even more accurate. But without that customer feedback, I can also have a CSAT score. I have my prediction rate, I have my survey response rate, I can look at it in a lot of different ways, and if I scroll up, I'm also able to look at my agents individually and see how their CSAT scores compare to their peers. I know if they're ahead of or below their cohorts and what agents might need some additional assistance or coaching. And I know ultimately where that data came from. How many interactions were they on that generated that data? Taking this one step further, I can also take these Csat scores that were enhanced with VI to identify specific coaching opportunities. Now it's not just agent A or agent B that needs some coaching because their average score was above or below their cohorts, but more specifically, a particular agent on a call with a particular call purpose had a particular Csat score that was above or below the average. Now I know that that specific agent needs help with that specific call purpose, and that's going to create very meaningful change in my organization. So just a couple of quick highlights on some of the very unique and innovative things that we're doing here at Dialpad, leveraging AI technology to make every customer experience beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that quick overview. I appreciate it.
Of course.